In this video I'm gonna show you everything that you need to know about the animal quarantine station and the process for getting your pets in Malaysia. We're also going to help you with getting the import done, everything that you can expect from it, and all the rules and all the information that you need. My name is Harley Hoffman, this is Sarah, and behind the camera is Danique as always. We are going to help you today. So, if you would like to admit your dog or cat or parrot or whatever kind of animal you have, a lizard, we heard a lot of things coming across here. If you would like to put them up for quarantine, the first thing you need to do is you gotta get a caretaker. It's literally a caretaker that will take care of your pet, but know one thing right, the only thing that the caretaker does is that they will feed your dog and they will clean the cage. So they won't walk with the dog because there is a chance that the dog will run off, and more than that they don't really do. I'm going to show you the cage as well, that you can know what you can expect from it, what kind of situation dog will be put into it. We have chosen to get our dog into Georgetown, Penang. Why is that? Because we are able to walk with her as well. Sarah is a dog that is really well trained, so she does only her things outside and on the grass. She doesn't do anything inside, she is trained not to do. So if your dog is like Sarah, you are required to come here yourself to let her out, because otherwise she doesn't pee or poop, and we have quarantine for 2 weeks and a dog cannot hold it in that long. Also, we really just wanted to see her, and here in Georgetown, Penang, we were able to do that. As you can see, they have a little field around the animal quarantine station. We are very lucky because Sarah is the only dog around here. Normally there are a lot more dogs, but in the 2 weeks that she will be staying here, she's the only dog. So what can you expect from the quarantine room? I'm going to show you right now, because behind me is Sarah's quarantine room. So let me show you her crib. So it's a 2-door system. Sarah is behind this door. We do have her travel cage here. Normally you have water and her feedings, her food. We also have this room. So keep in mind, if you have a caretaker, the only thing that he does is clean the cage. He probably puts her in this room. We always walk around so he gets to do his thing and give her food, and that's it. So if you don't choose to visit your dog or anything, the only thing she will see is caretaker for 2 weeks and the inside of that door. We do have the luxury that the guards here are all very kind and nice, so we are able to play with Sarah. So as you can see, we can throw the stick. Some of the guards are kind of strict and they really want us to have the leash on her 24/7. But as you can see, we get to play with her as well a little bit, which is really good. So once you have fixed your caretaker, you can go on to step 2. Step 2 is getting the booking for the quarantine. Hey little doggy, do you want to join? So once you get the pet taker done, you can continue to the booking of the quarantine. Because we were coming from Padang Besar, Thailand, we needed to get a letter of approval first from the animal quarantine head office in Kuala Lumpur. It was really easy. We sent them a mail and they approved it. And the communication with the animal quarantine station here behind me in Penang and Kuala Lumpur is really good, because the men knew it before we did that we had approval. They just needed our basic details. We needed to pay, which can be a bit tricky if you're coming as us from overseas, because we don't have a Malaysian bank and they only have a Malaysian bank. So you gotta find a way to do that if you're gonna do it yourself. Why would we recommend doing it yourself? The whole process would have cost us around the 400 or 500 euros or the 5,000 RM, if I say it correctly, 4 or 5,000. But we choose to do it ourselves because we did it for 30% of that price. In total we spent around the 150-200 euros for the whole process instead of paying 500-600 euros, and it was kind of easy to do as you do the steps one by one and make sure you do it on time. That's really important. We got in contact with the animal quarantine station. This animal quarantine station allowed us to do it ourselves. Normally it would be in charge of a company that does it. So the one at Padang Besar, they didn't allow us, they wanted a company to do it, and this one really helped us very good and allowed us to do it. So you can just get in contact with them, ask them for the form, they send you a form, you fill it in with all your details, you can tell them you've got a caretaker, they can also help you with that, and that's step 2 of the process. Okay, so the next step is getting the import permit. The import permit is kind of tricky to do because they fixed that in Kuala Lumpur, and you're only allowed to do that if you have a Malaysian company. So we got help from a Malaysian company because that was the only step we couldn't do. But what do you need to get an approval for it? Well, you gotta need to have a pet passport and a vaccination record. So you gotta have a Rabies titer and a couple different things that she would have anyway as her basic vaccinations, at least for us. The best to check whatever kind of vaccination you need is to send a message or a mail to the Kuala Lumpur animal quarantine station, because they can send it to you and then you have black on white that you have everything right. Also, something to get it is a export permit. We got an export permit for Thailand, which we got, and a official health certificate. You got to go to the vet in the country that you are living. So for us, we were staying in Thailand by the time. We got a vet from a local guy in Koh Lanta. Then we went to Hajai, to the office of the animal quarantine station, and then they made that an official health certificate, and with that we could complete the final process to require one. Also, I will put all the important details below from the pet importer that helped us to get into Thailand. I will put the link below from the animal quarantine station, the officer, and the mail that you can use. Always make sure to check, because a lot of times the rules, they keep changing. So we had to do quarantine for 14 days because we came from Thailand. If you come from Canada, America, it could be that you only have to do 7 days. So make sure to always check it if it's still up to date. But this was the rules that occurred to us. It was really easy process. The only thing is it just takes some time. That's the only thing. So I would really advise start 6 weeks, at least 5 weeks before you're entering the country, getting all the details and everything done. And also don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that button, because we really appreciate that you follow us and support us through this journey. And last but not least, once you have all these 2 things done, because we came from Thailand and we went to Padang Besar, Penang all the way, we also needed to get a escort from a Makis officer. We could just request that at the border. You can just find all the details of them online and also in this bio. We just texted them and said, hey, we need an escort because we need to go on the 24th to Penang. Can you help us with that? And they just reply really fast, and they will just say, there is an animal quarantine escort ready for you guys. You just got to pay. They check all the documents and that's it. So at the end of this video, you know how to get the booking done, how to get the import permits, and how to request a escort. If you are flying, for a example, on Penang and you are letting your dog stay in Penang, I don't really think you're gonna need an escort. Everything will be fixed there. But if you are doing it like us and are going to cross the land borders, either from Thailand or Singapore, you will definitely need an escort. Then he came with a really good tip, because Malaysia is 70% of the country Muslim. Dogs are really not welcomed in cars or other forms of transportation. So once you've decided to get your pet here, you really are required to get your own car. At least we would advise it. And also when you come from the airport, check with your hotel if they can help you with it, so you are at least ready to go once you arrive and don't have that stress or to think about. Because as everybody knows, traveling with your dog is already stressful enough, so you don't want to put that extra load on top of you. And hit that like button. Make sure that you double check all the rules from the country that you're taking your pet to. The rules can change. We made this video in 2024, so if you're watching this far ahead in the future, make sure to double check it. Just go to your local government website and the animal quarantine post. There's always a mail, and 9 of the 10 times within 2 days they will just reply to you with all the current vaccinations that your dog needs to have, how most valid they need to be, and what kind of paperwork you need to do. It looks like a lot of work if you look at all at once, but just chop it down, do it day by day, and then it's really not that big of a deal. We've traveled to 6 countries already, and until this day we did everything ourselves except for the import permit from Malaysia, because only companies are allowed to do that. So yeah, my biggest advice is please do it. So how long does your pet need to be in quarantine? It really depends on the case from which country you're coming from. For an exception, Thailand needs 14 days. Other countries can go along with 7. Eventually it's the call of the head of the animal quarantine station that will tell you how long it needs to take and to be in a quarantine. But yeah, it's really depending on the country that you're coming from. Also, something that's good to know are the visiting hours. The visiting hours are between 9 and 11 AM and within 3 to 5 PM. Those are the only hours that you can visit, and in the weekends it's only between 9 and 11 AM. But if you are a bit nice with the guards and friends, then the head guard can tell you, hey, you are allowed to visit, because we don't mind, we are here anyways. The guards here are really nice and very kind, so we got lucky with that.